Welcome to the summary of Episode 16, Dark Ascent. April 25th, 2017. Darkseid tells the assembled heroes that if they surrender, he will kill them quickly and painlessly. Starfire responds by blasting him. Darkseid is unharmed and taunts Starfire, saying her sister had the same fiery spirit before he slaughtered her and destroyed her city. Another boom tube opens in the sky, and Orion and Lightray appear. Orion addresses Earth's heroes and says that their allies from New Genesis stand with them. Opening credits. On the War World, Cyborg carries Superboy back to the hangar where the bioship docked. They brainstorm what to do, and Superboy wonders if Cyborg can tap into the War World's central computer and turn its weapons on itself. As they hear Steppenwolf approaching, Superboy gets a space helmet from the bioship. Steppenwolf hacks through the hangar door just as Superboy closes off the area with Cyborg and the bioship, hiding them. At the United Nations, Queen Bee announces to the General Assembly that she and her colleagues have struck a deal with the alien invaders. In exchange for establishing a base of operations on Earth, the aliens will allow Queen Bee and her colleagues to rule as regents. The assembled leaders erupt in outrage. Lex Luthor steps forward to add that they will become the Supreme Council of the UN and reminds the world leaders that the alternative is direct rule by the aliens. When disgruntled leaders try to leave, Mammoth, Shimmer, and Deathstroke block their exit. Simon also appears, as a hidden figure watches the events from the shadows. Orion immediately projects a force shield to temporarily shield them from Darkseid. He warns that it will only last a few minutes, so they'd better formulate their strategy quickly. Lilith suddenly announces that her brain fog is clearing. She states that Raven is the key to defeating Darkseid, although the startled Raven has no idea how to do this. Arsenal sends Protector to evacuate Victor's father and the rest of the staff in the nearby facility. Batgirl asks Orion if his forces can battle the parademons around the world, and Orion agrees to whatever they request, though he bluntly states that they will not last long against Darkseid. With that, he and Orion teleport away, and the force shield continues to weaken. In Asia, Talia confronts Ra's al Ghul. She admonishes him for his alliance with aliens and calls him disgraceful for not having faith in the League of Shadows' sufficiency. She challenges her father to combat. When Ubu steps in to protect his master, Cheshire emerges to battle him. After a ferocious battle, Ra's submits to his daughter after being mortally wounded. Cheshire reveals that Sportsmaster destroyed the Lazarus Pit, so this death will be final. Ra's tells Talia he's proud of her. She tearfully thanks him and cuts his throat. With Talia now in charge, she commands Ubu to call off the attacks on Asian leaders. Superboy and Steppenwolf fight, but Superboy misleads his opponent by pretending to be much weaker. Superboy maneuvers the battle until he surprises Steppenwolf with a powerful punch that slams him against the wall of the hangar. Through punching him repeatedly, Superboy pushes the villain's body through the wall until it fractures, exposing him to the vacuum of space. Steppenwolf almost gets sucked out, but he anchors himself with his axe as Superboy puts on the helmet. Fighting to stay inside the hangar, Superboy pushes the gap in the wall further apart until Steppenwolf disappears into space. Barely conscious, Superboy signals Cyborg. Cyborg raises the wall between them, and the bioship hooks Superboy with a cable. Safely inside the ship, Cyborg says that tapping into the War World was simple. While he couldn't get the weapons to self-destruct, he was able to deactivate them all. As the bioship takes off, Superboy wonders about Vandal Savage. In Europe, Black Manta and Ocean Master fight their way through the Brain's mind-controlled guerrilla guards as Grodd finds the Brain. Grodd mentally commands Monsieur Mallah to smash the Brain's outer casing. In reaction, the Brain projects two blades that impale Mallah. Grodd then releases his control. As Malah's senses return and they realize they are both dying, the ape begins weeping. The Brain says that all is forgiven, and they both expire. At the UN, Batman, who is hiding in the shadows, uses a throwing weight to knock out Simon and shoots binding cables at Queen Bee and Luthor. He then shuts down the power, leaving the chamber in darkness. After also knocking out Shimmer and gassing Mammoth, he confronts Deathstroke. A fierce battle ensues, but Batman manages to defeat Deathstroke. When the lights come back, Queen Bee and Luthor are bound together with a note pinned to them, urging the UN to hold them captive. The Force Shield loses power, leaving the young heroes exposed. While the less powerful heroes battle the parademons, the stronger heroes attempt to keep Darkseid distracted as M'gann and Lilith work with Raven. Linking their minds together, M'gann and Lilith travel inside Raven's mind and find a small black bird. A fiery portal suddenly opens behind them and they find themselves being dragged in. They grab the small bird's wings and escape Raven's mind. As they emerge from Raven's mind, Darkseid has lost his patience and prepares to destroy them all. Raven suddenly manifests a gigantic dark bird which absorbs Darkseid's Omega beams. It swiftly moves toward him and envelops him completely, returns to Raven, and dissipates as it passes into her. With Darkseid gone and no orders to act on, the parademons remain in place as Raven screams in pain. Talia, Sportsmaster, Black Manta, Grodd, Cheshire, and Ocean Master congratulate themselves on defeating the Light. Deathstroke suddenly enters and asks to join them. Though they are reluctant, he offers to share his considerable network of contacts he made through the Light. He reminds them that none of them trust each other and appreciates their transparent interest in uniting for self-service rather than the illusion of an alliance. The others grudgingly acknowledge the truth in this. Police are on the scene as the heroes tend to their wounded. Orion and Lightray show up, announcing that they know Darkseid is gone since the parademons around the world are all staying in place. Orion thanks them and says they are transporting the parademons back to Apocalypse. Roy and Lilith tend to Raven, who has begun to recover. She tells them she just needs a moment to herself, so they walk off. As Raven stands, her face briefly turns dark red and she smiles. So just a few comments on the 16th episode. So we finally arrived at the season finale and things start off pretty grim, until the positive karma generated by the young hero's warning to New Genesis comes back around. Lightray and Orion appear and offer the services of the new gods to the Earth heroes in their hour of need. Using Darkseid as a villain is tricky because he's so powerful. If he's beaten too quickly, it blunts his effectiveness, and if he's undefeatable, the story can't go anywhere. So I went for the middle ground, with the stronger heroes acknowledging their limitations and committing to simply keeping him distracted while Lilith and Raven sort out what they can do. It stands to reason that Lilith would regain her precognitive abilities while Clarion is absorbed with detaining Dr. Fate, as we saw in the previous episode. Although her trip with M'gann into Raven's mind is perhaps too brief, we definitely get the sense of danger from the infernal doorway, which we the audience can assume to be a portal to Trigon. So the bird that Raven manifests absorbs Darkseid, but it also uncovers her demonic face as a setup for next season. This finale also removed most of the Light as the primary antagonists and replaced them with the Dark. This is a less powerful group than the Light with entirely different motivations, so we'll see next season how they factor in. This episode is non-stop action and perhaps overstuffed, as a lot of loose ends are left untied in Season 3, but all the more reason to come back for next season, Young Justice Titans. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this and look for Season 4 episodes in the future. Also, please leave comments about what you did or didn't like and why. Take care.